everyone.
Today we will be talking about dissociation. We're kind of butting into the relationship anxiety role because we've gotten a lot of requests about this one.
So here we are.
Let's get to it.
It's there are a few different ways to look at dissociation. I think for a lot of people, the general way is just like a form of detachment. So you just kind of remove yourself from reality. But what we learned actually, and again,
not professional. We will say this every time.
Yeah,
this is just our journey, our experience. Just trying to do our best.
Just shedding light.
Yeah.
But what we learned is there are actually 3 different types of dissociation, and
even more. Like there's a lot of different ways that this goes.
Yeah.
It goes very far into a lot of different things.
Essentially, like the general term for it is just being disconnected from reality and using that disconnection as a coping mechanism to trauma that you've experienced.
And pain that you no longer want to feel.
Yeah. So
it's like your brain's way of like just standing guard and protecting you from pain and stuff that you don't want to feel, or it hurts too bad, so you just kind of shut it off.
Yeah, you flip a switch.
Yeah.
And so the 3 different types that we learned about actually are amnesia, which is your body's way of kind of forgetting what you are. Yeah.
And like the things
what you've been through.
Done. Yeah.
So that's your body's way of, you kind of just have memory loss, which is a little bit scary. And then the other 2 are like a personality. The internet referred to it as like a personality disorder, kind of. It related it to multiple personality disorder, where you kind of just, you don't really know who you are, and
it's a really big feeling of loss to like yourself and reality and the things happening around you and your own memories. So it's really challenging, and it looks very different again in everybody, because for me, like, it's been going on a while, and it can last a long time, or you can have like small episodes where you kind of just like zone out and you're just standing there for like however long until you kind of snap back into it. Like I know one of my friends will do that, and she'll be like, I kind of just like laid in bed looking at the ceiling for like 2 hours and didn't even realize what I was doing. But then for me, it's like, it's a long feeling of not really feeling like a person or like alive or like anything real.
Yeah.
And it's scary, and it's kind of hard because you need those moments where you obviously would like to feel alive and connected to yourself, but for me personally, I haven't for a while, and I think the pandemic obviously doesn't help with that, because there's a lot of fear in the world right now, and I feel like that's my way of coping and trying to hide from it. And a lot of stuff in my personal relationships or family life add to it, and then it's just like a huge thing, and I'm like, all right, don't know when I'm gonna see myself again or like be myself again. So it can be very, very hard and scary to kind of feel so disconnected from life, or even like my memories. I'm like, what the fuck did I do? Like, what did I just do yesterday? Like, who did I just see? Where did I just go? Like, I don't remember.
It's almost like, sometimes I equate it to like, it's as if I'm controlling myself on a, like, you know those old puppets?
Yeah, like you're not there. You're up above yourself, watching yourself live.
Yeah, it's so wild, because we'll talk about things that have happened in the past. We literally had this conversation actually over the weekend, and it was
even
like
yesterday we were out doing an Amazon delivery, and we finished, and we were like, did we really just do that? Like,
no, but
what just happened?
Remember when we were talking, you, me, and Ethan, we were talking in the kitchen, and you guys were talking about things that had happened when you were younger.
Oh, yeah. I don't even remember my childhood.
No, and it's like my body and my brain will literally forget things that have happened because it's a protection mechanism. So it's very normal for you to not remember the extent of traumatic experiences, because your body uses that as a coping mechanism, because it's easier to not feel than it is to dive deep into those feelings.
Memory loss can be really scary. I know, like, for me and Meg and a lot of my friends, like, I've talked to a lot of my friends, and they'll be sitting there just trying to even think of a word or like something that happened.
It's
and
traumatizing.
I know for me, like, I was out with one of my friends and we were talking about something we did the day before, and I was kind of just sitting there, and I could not remember for the life of me that I hung out with her the day before and what we did. And I was starting to panic, and like I started sweating, and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm freaking out because I can't remember what we just did."
Yeah.
And then that goes hand in hand with anxiety, because your memory turns to shit basically.
Mm-hmm.
Because with anxiety, your brain is constantly...
It's on overdrive.
Yeah, so then it works way too hard every day, and then your memories kind of start to fade, or you don't really remember it perfectly because your brain is processing so many other things and so many other thoughts.
Well, and two, with anxiety, I find that your quality of sleep severely goes down. So when at night, when your body is supposed to be like rejuvenating and getting ready for the next day and like repairing itself,
Well,
your
then-
brain isn't getting that restful sleep, and then the anxiety is still going at night, which means the next day you're not at 100%, and then the anxiety is probably in overdrive the next day because you didn't sleep the night before. So memory loss is a huge thing, and it's also a huge part of dissociation as well, which we
it's
both
nothing to be scared of, though, and I know
it is
it's
scary
really
though.
scary.
Like, it happened the other day when we were driving, and I literally, for the life of me, I had to ask Abby to Google something because I could not remember the word. And I was fixated on it for about 20 minutes, and then
Yeah.
I made you Google it because I couldn't remember it. Simplest word, couldn't remember it, and then I focused on that for probably about the next hour because I was freaked out that I could not remember
Yeah.
something that I should know. But it's all anxiety related, and it's a very scary thing, but know that
I don't want like you guys to be scared of it, though, because when I first kind of realized that this is what I have been doing my whole life to deal with pain, I was like freaking out.
Mhm.
Like, I was talking to my friend and I was freaking out. She was like, "There's nothing to be scared of. Like, it's not something that's gonna hurt you or like harm you. It's not like something that's gonna kill you." She was like, "It's
No.
just a way of coping with pain."
It's your
So I
body's
want
way
you
of
guys
protecting.
to just like know that it's okay, it's normal. A lot of people deal with it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about just kind of bringing yourself back into your body. And like, personally, meditating helps a lot because you're kind of just bringing yourself back to that calm state, and doing things that you love, like
We are big into coloring and painting.
and being outside is huge.
Yeah.
Like, we've been hiking a lot, which has helped. And
Connecting with nature and just feeling fresh
Yeah.
air
yeah,
makes a big difference.
I've
And
been
it doesn't
sledding
have
like
to be
every day the past few days. My neighbors came over,
Yeah.
and I'm really close with them, and we were just having fun sledding, and that was kind of the first time that it clicked, and I like felt back in my body. I was kind of just sitting there, and I was like, I miss this. Like, this is what life feels like. Like, you just have to do those fun things and get out
Find
and like
what it is that
play,
reconnects
let
you.
your inner child play. Like, do fun stuff. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Anything else?
There's another thing that helps. Oh, exercising. Exercising helps a
Exercise
lot.
really helps. Also, don't be afraid to feel the feelings. Like, journaling, and it's hard to sit there and kind of uncover the past and really dig deep, but that's also a really big part of healing.
And that's going to be a really big part that helps you guys, because instead of like, I know me personally, I went through like some traumatic stuff a few months ago, and I block it out. I didn't really properly heal it and accept it. And so it still comes out now in like waves, and I'm like, oh, I'm triggered. Like, here we go.
Yeah.
So I think journaling about that kind of stuff and like really sitting in those feelings of like pain or sadness
Mm-hmm.
helps, because you need to feel them before you can let them go.
Yeah.
And that'll help you feel more connected to yourself and to stop disconnecting, because you're accepting the pain instead of
Mhm.
avoiding it, which can be very hard.
It is a very hard thing to do, but the more you get comfortable, the less you start to dissociate. So the more, and it's a long process. For sure, we have not figured that out. Something traumatic happens, and I'm like, okay, like, armor's on. which
I don't
is
even realize too until like a few days later. My friend's like, "You haven't been the same," and I'm like, "Oh,
that's why.
oops."
Yeah. So it's a learning process for sure, but I think
Be patient with yourself and be your own best friend. Like, hold your own hand through it. You will get through it.
know that it's okay to cry, to feel.
Talk to your friends. Like,
reach out for help.
I
Ask for
messaged
help.
my friends and they were like, "Oh my God, like I feel the same thing. Like I go through that too." And it's like, thank God I'm not alone. Like, you guys, the help is out there and your friends will probably relate more than you would think. So it's all about reaching out and don't be afraid to ask for help. You can always message us anytime. Doesn't matter. We're all in it together.
We are all in it together. You are never alone and your feelings are always valid.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think what we're going to do next week is circle back to relationships. And then if you guys have any other topics that you want us to talk about, let us know.
Because we got a lot of requests for doing this one.
Yeah.
And
hopefully this was helpful. And if you guys found it helpful, then feel free to like the video, subscribe,
and let
share.
us know what you need more of or what you would like to see. Because that will help us help you.
Help them. Anyways.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for the support.
Let's
we
see
appreciate
you next
it.
week.